What a start to the World Cup we have seen so far. I'm sorry I haven't mentioned or haven't made a video about all the other big, not so big, but all the other important matches or the beginning of the group matches till now. This one we obviously had to talk. This was the clash of the big guns, the official first clash of the big guns, the big titans of this World Cup. On one hand, we have the 5 times champion, the Real Madrid of World Cup, the biggest nation of World Cup, the team with the biggest history, the most iconic history in World Cup, Brazil. And then the team that shook the whole world with their approach to football, with their gameplay, and in 2022 they did something that none of us thought it could be done. And then here they are trying to make a statement, and they're saying what you saw in 2022 was not a fluke, it was not a one season wonder, it was not just a golden generation thing. We are work in progress, and we are going to show you what we are actually made of. I'm talking about Morocco, baby. On one hand, we have the 6th best team in the world and now the 7th. On paper, everyone would still prefer Brazil over Morocco for obvious reason, because even though Brazil is going through a dud, even though the national team of Brazil has yet to taste any proper success from the latest all the tournaments that they have been in, either Copa America or World Cup, it has been a drought, and the Joga Bonito we have known for a long while has been fading. And although the stars are there, the individual brilliance is there, but still the Brazil we used to know for is like a shadow of the Brazil that we see nowadays. But keeping all of that aside, still when you see both of the teams in pen and paper, you see Brazil, you have Vini Jr., you have Raphinha, you have Acuna, and Neymar Jr., who is currently injured but will be back, I hope so, will be back by the knockout stage. And then you have Paqueta, Casemiro, Fabinho, Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield, and then possibly the best defensive duo currently on the market for any national team, that is Marquinhos and Gabriel, with Alisson Becker on the back. So technically no one was going to doubt Brazil for what they are capable of. But what Morocco showed today is actually a statement to the football world, a statement to all the European team, African teams, South American, American teams, that yes, you have been the dictators of football for so long, you have been the big teams of football for so long, the big nations of football for so long, but here we are trying to change that. Not only trying to change that, we are going to change that by taking on the biggest names possible and showing them what we are capable of. And mind you, this Morocco is not the same Morocco that we have seen in 2022. That's 2022 Morocco was much more conservative, much more preservative, much more pragmatic about their approach. They were more defensive and defensively solid, and their attack was heavily based on counter attacks, fast transitional attacks. But this time around, the identity of this team has changed completely. They are no longer sitting back, they are no longer waiting for you to attack and then gather the ball from you and then unleash a counter attack. No, this time around they are pressing high. They are making all the attacks themselves, they are keeping the position, they are recovering the ball up high in the opponent's D-box, and then creating all the chaos, creating all the havoc from that. And that is exactly what we saw in this match as well. Starting off, Brazil actually had much more pressure than we expected them to have, because first of all, it is Brazil you are talking about. No, their history, their legacy in this World Cup has been so long that even with a weak team, they are considered one of the favorites, if not the favorite. So coming up, and with a new technical team, with a new coaching staff, with Carlo Ancelotti as the coach in their realm, and with all these big names out there, Brazil are expected to do something, at least go to the semi-finals of the World Cup. And from there, either they're going to win it or are they going to go all the way. It is from there, it is all up on the hands of God. But so they were in heavy expectation, they were carrying heavy expectation, and they had a pressure on them, and Morocco used that pressure very well. First of all, Morocco doesn't have the big names as equivalent as that of Brazil. We all know that. The most prominent name in their team is Ashraf Hakimi, who is currently most obvious best right back in the world right now. But apart from that, they have good individual talents, but none on the same star power. None of them has the same star power or recognition as that of the Brazilian team. But that is what they are capitalizing on. This team doesn't rely on individual brilliance, doesn't rely on star power, doesn't rely on iconic individual moments. This team gels well. This Morocco team has the same kind of combination, the same kind of chemistry that we saw in the 2022 Argentinian team. They are not the biggest name, but they work well with themselves. Since the beginning of the first minute, we saw that Brazil, and given also the fact that Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes are one of the best destructive midfielders out there, the most best physical midfielders, but they are not the most technically profound ones. And given the age of Casemiro and how technically not so good Bruno Guimaraes is, he's a very physical player, very dominant box-to-box player, but his technical ability is not that much high of the same caliber as someone we see from other teams like Netherlands or Spain or some teams like that. But so the Moroccan team understood that and pressed them high from the very start on. They had 3 players starting to press them, and right for the kickoff, they started off like PSG, throwing the ball inside the opposite team's D-box to press from the start. Fine. I think the coach of Morocco has taken some notes from the toolbox or the tactical box of PSG, and they utilized it very well. They were pressing high till the first 20 minutes. Morocco were creating chaos for Brazil. They were controlling the game. They were recovering balls in the Brazil's half. They were not letting them play. They were not letting them settle in. They were not letting him have some good position. And this was creating chaos in Brazilian players' mind. This was creating havoc in them. The lack of control, the lack of position, the lack of control in the game was creating havoc inside them as well. And this had nothing to do with the defense or neither the attack. This was actually a battle of the midfields. The biggest factor that helped Morocco compared to Brazil in this battle was that both of the midfielders of Brazil were trying, if you involve Paqueta as well, the 3 midfielders of Brazil were trying to create from the back, and Paqueta was heavily involved in trying to create from the back. But the way Moroccan team wholeheartedly pressed together, and the fact that all of the players from 0 to 90 minutes pressed that hard from first minute and so coherently in such sync, that was the reason why the first breakthrough came in. Brahim Diaz's ball, and to be very honest, the best 2 defenders in the world currently did a very amateurish job in that goal. Marquinhos and Gabriel letting a striker, Sharbari or whatever the name of that guy was, pass through them through the middle and chip the goalkeeper Alisson. That was very shambolic to see, to be very honest. Amateurish kind of gameplay by the defenders, but all of that came from the fact that Morocco was winning the ball in the midfield. And a huge shout out to the player Abdou. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sorry for that, but everyone was predicting that Amrabat was going to start instead of Abdou, and the Moroccan coach said, you know what, I'm going to give the young blood a chance. And boy did he showed how to play in a pressure match like this. An 18-year-old who was given the job to handle the midfield, handle the gameplay, to handle the tempo, to dictate the gameplay for Morocco, and to disrupt the gameplay of Brazil as well. This guy was everywhere in the pitch. Every time Brazil was trying to create a gameplay, have a position and control the gameplay, he was interrupting them everywhere. And as I saw him, I understood the fact that he is not one of the players who are tactically brilliant or who are too fast, but his athletic ability to stand in a position and then accelerate into another position in the blink of an eye, and to adjust himself from one place to another, to block a ball or to intercept a ball, to block, to give a tackle, to win a ball, was impressive as hell. One thing that is one quality that we see in players like Gavi, in Fede Valverde, in Juan Neves as well. That technical ability along with the athletic ability to run like a machine and control the gameplay and intercept the ball all in the same time is a gift for Morocco, and that was the simple reason why they are winning much of the battles in the midfield in the first 30 minutes. After that, the game goal from Vinicius came in, and a very good goal in this game. Especially Vinicius played actually well, very well in terms of all the players that played in Brazil. His gameplay was good. He was trying to create chances and he was causing problem for Morocco in his side. Raphinha was very, in terms of attack, Raphinha was very sulky. He was very wasteful. Defensively, pressing wise, yes, we appreciate his efforts in defense and in pressing as well, but his main job is to attack. So he's being wasteful while attacking. That becomes a big concern, especially for Carlo Ancelotti, because he is a very important weapon for Carlo Ancelotti. Then coming to the second half, when things changed for Brazil, and this is where Carlo Ancelotti actually understood the fact that he is losing the battle in the midfield, so he brought in some changes. Casemiro wasn't having a good day. Casemiro was being toyed around by the kid, so he was changed and Firmino was brought in. Thiago Riago was having a horrendous day as well. He was changed. Acuna came in, Luis Enrique came in, and as soon as they came in, as soon as the gameplay changed, Paqueta went off and Acuna was playing in that attacking midfield role. Brazil was looking more in control. And one more thing that the Morocco coach did was he did substitutes very lately. Hence, the team players that were playing from the 0 to 70 minutes, they were looking tired. They are looking a little fatigued. Hence, the press was slowing down. They were not pressing high anymore. They were in the mid block, waiting for them to create any chances. Although they were pressing a little less aggressively than how they started off, still Brazil were not creating any chances out of it. There was no clear-cut chances that Brazil made when Morocco pushed them up front and when Morocco laid back a little as well. So this is going to be a big concern for Brazil, and hands down one of the most exciting match from top teams of FIFA World Cup this season, and it didn't disappoint. It didn't disappoint at all, especially how Morocco played. It is a warning to all the European teams and the South American teams that be aware, be cautious of this team. Yes, in 2022 they went on to semi-final, unfortunately lost there, but this team is here to prove that was not a fluke, that was not a one-time thing, and they have changed their identity as well. That team used to play in a different way, but this team knows how to control the ball, knows how to play with the ball, knows how to create counter-attack, knows how to have the position, knows how to create chances out of nowhere, and they are going to be a gem. They are going to be so fun to watch in this World Cup. I am excited for Morocco. At the same time, I am cautious for Brazil, because this is like a warning signal for them. They need Neymar. What I have understood from this match is that Neymar is one such player. His creativity, his vision is one such element that this Brazil team lacks. Every time Brazil tried to create something from the back or create something in the midfield, they lacked the unpredictable creativity that Neymar had. This predictability that all the other player brings in is the very reason why Morocco was able to intercept all of their balls, intercept all of their passes in the first place. It was the reason why Abdou, the player who nobody anticipated to break out so massively in the first match itself, played the way he did, because he was able to predict all the moves from the veterans, from Casemiro, Firmino, Guimaraes and Paqueta, especially Paqueta. Paqueta was being pocketed by Abdou very well. So that was it for my thoughts about Brazil versus Morocco, the first super team showdown, the group opener of their particular group, and it is going to be so exciting to watch what the next matches bring in, especially for Brazil, because with Carlo Ancelotti as their coach and all of these stars packed in the team, if they somehow manage to bottle this World Cup, I don't know if they are going to go all the way, but if they somehow not manage to reach the semi-final, it is going to be a disappointing campaign for them, and let's see how it goes for them. And if you haven't yet, if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Hoots and Balls.